So I mean, I don't know. I see kind of what sort of person we're dealing with there. Okay. Not great. Hello, it's Christmas Meg, here to remind you that it is December. Until a few years ago, I was quite a Grinch about Christmas, but I mean, this outfit, this hair, it's not exactly giving Grinch, but it's okay. We're gonna roll with it, because today we're gonna dive into the somewhat dubious land of autism-related TikToks. We're going with a Christmas theme. The most autistic Christmas tree you've ever seen. The tree looks like Uncanny Valley, like it's trying too hard to be a tree. How do neurotypicals make things look decorated casually with 3 skull emojis? Is it the symmetry? Like what? Something is wrong. Oh no. Okay, what do we think? Is that tree autistic? Have we found them out? I don't think that tree is masking very well, I must say. I want to see it again. I need to... Okay, maybe we need some more decorations? I don't know, but it is quite a small tree. I don't know. It needs something. What do you think? Do you think this tree is autistic? Let's have a look at the comments. Don't bully her, she's perfect is the top comment. Lovely tree, she's doing her best. Someone commented lovely tree in quotation marks with 2 skull faces. Yes, we're all doing our best. This tree is us trying to mask. We're there like, look at me. I'm normal. Oh no, it's trying too hard to look like a tree. No. This makes no sense, but you're right. Yeah, that sums it up. I don't know how to explain in words why this is an autistic tree, but I think this tree very well could find itself with an autism diagnosis should it choose to go down that pathway. But self-diagnosis is valid. Someone said you didn't bend the branches out properly. I can't really tell. They're kind of out. Some of them are a bit droopy. Oh no, that's really funny. Okay, before I dive into the next TikTok, which seems to be about an autism awareness puzzle piece Christmas tree, I just want to say thank you so very much to Babbel for sponsoring this video and bringing the autistic Christmas to your screens this year. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world. You may have heard me mention in a few previous videos that learning languages for me has been something that's been on the cusp of being a special interest. But I'm kind of tired of saying things like that, you know? You get towards at the end of the year and you start really looking at your life and reflecting on things, and I'm like, I don't want to take these partial special interests to the grave with me. Okay, Babbel is helping me to learn some Polish. I've actually got my son involved as well when I've been learning some of the lessons, which is really cute. I'm gonna have a go at doing one of my lessons now on camera with you. Jesteś. 7. Nazywam się. Cześć. 6. Jesteście. Yay! I think that went well. I feel shy. I'll let you know how I get on. So head over and have a look at what they offer and let me know in the comments which language you would choose to learn. If you do want to subscribe, you can get 60% off your membership when you use my link. It'll be in the top of the description. But Babbel has a load of different subscriptions that you can choose from, including a lifetime subscription. They also have a 20-day money-back guarantee, which is really nice. And I think Babbel could make a really great gift for people in your life. A lot of people have too much stuff anyway, so gifting a subscription might not be a bad idea. Please prepare yourself. We're about to become aware of the tism. Okay. I don't know what to say. If anybody feels like their Christmas tree this year is not up to standard, or maybe you don't have a Christmas tree this year and it makes you feel, you know, bit of FOMO or something, just take a look at that and you will be cured. It says behind each name there is a parent who never gives up, so I'm assuming they're different names of autistic children that are on the tree. So it says many parents with autistic children started to follow my Facebook page after a video dancing with my son brackets blind and autistic went viral. So I mean, if you don't know, a lot of people in the autistic community don't love the puzzle piece as a symbol. It's associated with a charity called Autism Speaks. They had the very controversial I Am Autism advert, which was just horrible.
And if you are happily married, I will make sure that your marriage fails. Your money will fall into my hands and I will bankrupt you for my own self-gain.
This is just horrendous. I've got a video of me reacting to the full ad over on my Patreon page. Yeah, it was interesting. A little bit about the puzzle piece. So the puzzle piece was first designed in 1963 by somebody who was a board member of the National Autistic Society in the UK. So it wasn't created by Autism Speaks, but they still use it. It was a puzzle piece because at the time, autism was thought of as a puzzling condition. The original design depicted a child crying on the puzzle piece. It was kind of supposed to represent the burden that autism was putting on the child's life, and that's why they were so upset. But then like over time, and I do think that's what it makes me think of, people have started to think it means that, you know, you have a piece missing. And Autism Speaks actually do have a research project into the genetics of autism, but that project is actually called Missing. When I first saw it, I was like, is that what I think it is? Do you pronounce that as missing? And yes, you do pronounce it as missing. So it doesn't really seem like that much of a jump to come to that conclusion that that's what the puzzle piece might mean. A lot of us these days prefer to use the infinity symbol instead. So yeah, they asked many followers to send me their kid's name to decorate. Did the kids want their names to be on this tree? I don't know. It's giving me slight they've passed away vibes. I don't know. I ended up with more than 100 names. Like any individual on the spectrum, each decoration is unique. Okay. But then this is where the puzzle piece thing goes out the window, because I think puzzle pieces are supposed to kind of fit together to make a cohesive image. Are they not? I think autism awareness and acceptance would eventually bring a world together that openly welcomes my son and others with autism and all of their unique attributes. I wouldn't personally choose to have it in my house, but I suppose you can put anything you want in your house. I do wonder a little bit, like in the Halloween one, when there were mothers who were putting stickers on their autistic children that said like, I'm autistic and things like that. I wonder a little bit about like the consent. Are these children able to consent? Do they want to have their name on some other random person in another part of the world on their Christmas tree? I don't know. If they can't consent, then should we be doing that? I just don't really see how this Christmas tree helps autistic people or parents of autistic people in any way. How does it increase awareness and acceptance? What does it make us aware of? It's an image which is associated with a charity that many autistic people don't like and would like to distance themselves from. It's a charity that has made offensive adverts in the not so distant past. I think it was around 2009. You're asking somebody on the other side of the world to put your child's name on there. I'm assuming at least some of them were without consent. It always just feels exploitative, you know, like this person's like, my child, who's my blind and autistic child, and I think I can see, I don't know what other content they post, but I think I can see in their profile picture it is them and their child. I cannot stand parents posting their autistic children on social media. People film children who are not autistic inappropriately, but when it's an autistic person and you're filming them in distress, which they often do, or you're filming like the low moments and things like that in the name of awareness, it feels like you're seeing them as less than human. Why do you think that that's okay to blast that all over the internet? And it makes me sad to think, like, if I had grown up now and had different parents, you know, I flapped my hands as a child, I use a lot of my own home video footage in these videos. Imagine if I'd had a parent that had been there filming it for TikTok and had made little TikToks about these are the signs you need to watch out for in your child, and then that information is then there on social media for all of my peers to find. Ranking Christmas dinner foods, but I'm autistic. So the caption is, autism really just got me liking the beige foods with this emoji. Is that a good impression of that emoji? I don't know, the smooshed face emoji. And it's Christmas dinner blind rank, so you have to rank them without knowing what's gonna come up next. It's also tricky for me because I'm vegan. I've been vegan for 13 years, so I'm like, do I rank it based on my memories of these foods as a child when I was a much more fussy eater, or do I like rank the vegan equivalent? Gravy was first, and they put gravy at number 5. Okay. So I used to hate gravy so much as a child. At school, for some reason, I opted into a school Christmas dinner. I usually brought my own packed lunch, and I remember them like serving my food, and the dinner lady asked me, do you want to have gravy? And I said no, but I spoke really quietly because I was always quite softly spoken, or they just didn't listen very well, and they just dumped a whole load of gravy on it, and my heart sank, and I was like, oh no, this means I'm not going to be able to eat most of it. I like it now. I don't know if that's because I prefer the vegan ones, or if it's just as I've got older my taste buds have changed, and now I'll have it. It's just like, yeah, a little nice bit of salty extra. When it goes cold, it's kind of gross. I wouldn't want to have the Christmas dinner without it these days, so I'd probably say I'm going to put it in slot number 3. Mashed potatoes they put in number 3. No! Whenever I talk about how much I don't like mashed potato, I get so many comments from people telling me that they really love mash and it's one of their safe foods. And I get it, it's potato, it's beige. It's not safe, guys, it's not safe. No, it isn't safe for me. Mashed potato instantly, I feel like, just sets off my gag reflex if I put it in my mouth. It's just like, maybe about an 8 for me, I would put the mash. So they've put it as a 3. I don't know, it's like a whole campaign, autistic people for mash, it seems. And I'm like, are you okay? The next one was turkey. They put it as 7. I don't know, like, am I supposed to write tofurkey? I used to really like tofurkey. Now they don't sell it in the UK anymore, but the supermarkets do their own roasts now, which is nice. I mean, they're not probably the most meat-like thing in the world, but I prefer it that way. Yeah, I mean, if I'm rating like turkey as in actual turkey, maybe the turkey would be at the 9 for me. Everyone just complains about how dry the turkey is. It feels like nobody enjoys it. Like, why are we all doing this year on year if we're not having a good time, you know? So then it says Yorkshires, so that's Yorkshire puddings, not Yorkshire puddings. Americans, they put them as number 1. I haven't had them for years and years. Loads of people probably successfully veganized them, but like, I don't know, I'm just not really that bothered. They're like kind of fine. I don't know, maybe I'll put them at a 5. Like, they're okay, they're beige, they're not offensive. Like, yeah, in the past as a child, they probably, if they hadn't been smothered in gravy, they probably would have been the most preferred thing on there. They're the most kind of, I don't know, they're flour based. They're relatively non-offensive unless they're like soggy or something. Right, sprouts they put at 10. Well done. Yes, that is correct. You win. I'm going to put sprouts at 10 as well. I would definitely, I think, rather eat like 100 peas than 1 sprout, I think. That is a lot of peas. I feel like I'd never be able to use my mouth again if I ate a sprout, you know? Sprouts are literally, and I know people will say, well, how do you know what that would taste like? But no, it is a fact that sprouts taste like someone farted in your mouth. Collie cheese, they put second to last. What is it really? Is it like cauliflower, like cheesy cauliflower? I feel like there's a white sauce kind of involved, isn't there? I made one at school in like a food tech lesson. It was at the end of the day, we just finished making it and then we had to carry it home. And when I got in the car, I realized it had kind of been tipped slightly and like a line of it had leaked across my uniform. That was the only thing I think I made in the food lessons at school that nobody ate. Like, nobody wanted any of that. That went straight in the bin. It was disgusting. I feel like it's a lot nicer things you could do with cauliflower, you know? I don't know what numbers I've got left anymore. Maybe I'll put it at 6. Like, I don't think it's the most offensive thing, but Pigs in blankets they put as number 2. Well, again, it's like they do make vegan pigs in blankets. Usually they're good. I don't like the mushroomy, like shroom dog ones, even though I do like mushrooms. I just find them squidgy and weird. Wouldn't recommend a mushroom based one, but like soy based ones, they could be really nice. But yeah, as a child, I would have preferred a hot dog sausage, you know, like a really processed sausage that actually didn't have that much meat in it, and bacon, like stringy bits and hard bits and meat, that kind of stuff. I didn't realize until I went vegan how much I prefer having things being like a lot more processed, a lot more consistent. Even beans and stuff I think can be a lot more consistent than meat. Like a lentil. When has a lentil wronged me? I don't think it has, you know? Number 2 seems very high for me. Stuffing. I probably would have found stuffing like too strong as a child, but I really like the stuffing now with my little soy roast. So I'd probably agree with that being relatively high. Carrots they put as a 6. I mean, they didn't have much choice. They're running out of slots here. This is the problem with these blind ratings. I feel like carrots very rarely let you down. The roasted carrots are nice. Raw carrots are nice. Dipped in hummus, they're nice. Loads of vitamin A. Like, they deserve respect. Parsnips, on the other hand, they're like the ugly stepsister that we don't want to talk about. And roast potatoes number 8. Did they mean to put roast potatoes in number 8? Or is that just kind of what happened because it was a blind rating? Because I feel like roast potatoes potentially are the very best part of this. I might potentially put the roast potatoes first. I don't know. It depends if I'm doing a vegan one. If I was doing it with like vegan stuff, maybe the vegan meat, then the stuffing, then the gravy, then the roast potatoes, then the carrots, then the pigs in blankets. Oh, everything else is trash then. Oh, then the Yorkshire puddings. I might put them higher, but I just haven't had them for such a long time. Cauliflower cheese, I suppose. Then the mash, and then the sprouts. That was painful, man. Let me know how you would have ranked these down below, though. I feel like this could be quite controversial. I mean, we all just feel so different about, you know, what foods we like and dislike. It's a very personal thing, and that's fine. This is the reality of having a child with autism at Christmas. This took a lot to post. I'm not looking for sympathy. Awareness is all I'm aiming for. Hashtag ASD, hashtag autism awareness. Here I am on the 27th of December doing all I can to make my living room bare and back to normal, in quotation marks. So I don't know if that's a comment on the fact that maybe this person has an autistic child who doesn't cope very well with the change of Christmas, and now she's feeling kind of somewhat upset that she has to kind of take down the decorations and things early. Opening the gifts that became too much for my son to open, it hurts. Even like for me, watching that, listening to the wrapping paper being torn into is quite unpleasant. I personally don't really like wrapping paper, and so we actually use knot wraps, which is like a Lush thing. Basically, you just wrap it in a scarf. You just tie up the presents in a scarf. You don't have to buy the Lush knot wraps. They're really expensive. I found a few bundles of them on eBay, so you can kind of save a search and see if any come online. But also, you can just buy any sort of scarf, any sort of square scarf, and you can get all different sizes. Just find them on eBay really cheap. And then there's no mess either. You just fold the scarves at the end of it and put it away. You don't have all this wrapping paper that you need to separate into recyclable and not recyclable and pull off the tape, and it's just not this like chaos. Like, you end up with mountains sometimes of wrapping paper. It's made our Christmas morning a lot less overwhelming. Hopefully as time goes on, you know, she'll find a way to have a Christmas that everyone can enjoy. I feel guilt for even buying them / letting family gift him when I know deep down how he'll react. It's hard seeing social media filled with happy, excited children. I haven't enjoyed Christmas since his diagnosis. How can I enjoy something that upsets my child so much? I tell myself things will be better next year, just as they are each year. Not sure what that means. Next year we will adapt to a Christmas that meets his needs more than anyone else's, including our own. Again, with the awareness part, I kind of struggle with, you know, what is the point of these posts? You know, if somebody maybe is looking at the autism awareness hashtag, maybe their child has been recently diagnosed, maybe this is going to be one of their first Christmases or a first Christmas following a diagnosis, and they find this video. Does this help anybody? You're saying you'd do things differently next year, but you're not really sharing tips on how you'd maybe make it better or anything like that. It just seems kind of depressing. And like you're saying, you know, you watch all these videos of people on social media having these normal Christmases, but your Christmases are now ruined. But from now on, you're going to make sure you accommodate and you stop thinking about your own needs and you look out for him. It just seems kind of, you know, obviously not as bad, but it seems kind of like the vibes of that I Am Autism video. Like in that video, it like suggested you're going to get divorced and your whole life's going to fall apart. You'll never be happy again because of autism. I've seen a few of these TikToks, like kind of almost like, oh, beware if you have an autistic child, this is how they might be different around Christmas. They might not show any joy when they open their presents. And I'm just like, children in general are, you know, not necessarily always the best present openers because they don't really have a filter. Disclaimer, I do have 2 children who enjoy Christmas. I count myself as lucky to have 3 of them, but on the day itself, I slap on a brave face for the other 2 and cry to myself once I put them all to bed. Mamas do what we gotta do. Okay. This user does have this other TikTok which says, when I see yet another influencer self-diagnosing with ADHD and cracking jokes about how quirky it is. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I see kind of what sort of person we're dealing with there. Okay. Not great. And the caption is, stop. My Jack and millions of others suffers with an extremely debilitating level of ADHD. It makes me fear for my baby's life daily and is the reason for so much hurt in his life. ADHD hyperactivity is your body literally shaking at night when you're trying to settle. It's not silly little bursts of energy. Stop ignorance. Start acceptance. I don't know what that means because you're not being accepting of other people. And I know that this person's child is also diagnosed with a learning disability as well as autism and ADHD, and not all people who are autistic or ADHD have a learning disability. That doesn't mean they're not autistic or ADHD, and that doesn't mean it doesn't affect their lives in very, very real ways. If you read the book Dirty Laundry from the creators of the TikTok page and YouTube channel ADHD Love, it bloody affects people's lives. ADHD affects people's lives. And me being autistic affected my life. I, despite doing very well, was not able to complete education as an undiagnosed autistic person. I don't like this whole competition. I don't understand why everyone can't be on the same team. I don't think any person would want to take support or resources or anything away from autistic people and ADHDers who have a learning disability. I think we would be the first ones to fight for their rights. So I don't understand why we can't just all maybe be on the same page and it not be a competition just because everybody is not exactly like your child. And I don't think anybody should be invalidating anybody's diagnosis. I don't think that is ever your place. It's not helpful, it's not productive, it's just kind of mean. So anyway, I think we need to get off that person's page because I'm not really liking the vibes there. Okay, we have one from an autistic person about receiving gifts and they look so cool. And it's like freckles on their face, but are they pumpkins? Oh my gosh, and the pink hair and the earrings and the pants, everything. Right, I'm gonna stop listing things because I'll just list every single thing I can see.
Christmas stresses me out, and does it stress anybody else out? Because I hate getting gifts, but like I love getting gifts. The pressure to accept a gift and have the reaction that the other person wants you to have is so...
When you're opening gifts, there can be like a performative aspect, like I cannot do anything when someone is watching me. The other day I had to try and reverse the car while someone was across the car park staring at me. It did not go well. I just crumble when somebody is watching me.
Is so much that it makes me feel stressed. It makes me feel anxious. And then along with that, being like autistic, I have a very particular way that I open my presents.
I used to save the tags, all the name tags. I felt like kind of OCD weird about it. Like it became a thing that Meg always saves the name tags. I don't know what for. I just felt like, I don't know, it feels like too much nice, pretty, sparkly stuff that gets thrown away. It stressed me out.
And I know that it annoys a lot of people the way that I open my presents.
Opening a can of sweet corn, because I think they are, it's kind of giving me the ick. Not their fault, but just, tins often give me the ick.
So then I'm like stressed about the fact that I'm opening my presents incorrectly. Why can't I just like show the way that I'm excited about this present in the way that I want to, like...
It's a cute eel bowl, but yeah, the noise of that sweet corn going in there.
Like, show the way that I'm excited.
It's distracting me.
Sometimes...
Did something just fall on the floor and go splat?
When I'm opening a gift, I'll just be like, oh, thank you, that's nice. But I'm happy and I'm excited, but that's apparently incorrect.
Yeah, I do feel like I have to, if people are watching me, which mostly now as an adult, I'm not really in many situations where people are watching me open things, but if they are, I do feel like I've got to really fix my face in a smile and my people pleasery-ness comes out. I get very worried that the other person's going to think I don't like it, so I try and think of, lots of different things I could say to kind of reassure the other person that, no, I do like it, and even if I really do like it, which mostly I do, it's genuine, but it feels almost like I'm lying. I'm like, oh no, I need to convince them I actually do like it.
That's wrong, you can't do that because then people think you're being ungrateful. And that's just like, I'm tired, it's first thing in the morning, I've been so social, the pressure is too much.
And there were a lot of people commenting kind of similar things to that on the TikTok of the mum unwrapping the presents. Sticking with the theme of wrapping presents, we often do like to have a Cheryl in here. Oh my gosh, I'm such a Cheryl fangirl, I am. Wrapping up, why is it so difficult, this one's called, and she's hashtagged it with dyspraxia because like me, as well as being diagnosed as autistic, she also has a dyspraxia diagnosis. And there was a TikTok a while ago of her making a sandwich. We also have had Cheryl carving a pumpkin, so it only makes sense now that we have Cheryl trying to wrap some grey slippers, it seems.
Wrapping up. Why is it so difficult? Before you even started, you've got to fold up the clothing so it looks kind of presentable when it's wrapped up, and that's just a challenge on itself. Are you serious?
Oh no. I'm really not great at wrapping, I'm not. And I worked at Lush. You have to wrap the soaps, or you used to have to. I don't know if they sell them individually now, but you used to have to, like, you'd cut a slice of soap. Sometimes people would be like, I want 100 grams. And you'd have to keep cutting it until you got 100 grams of soap. But then you'd have to wrap it in the paper. And we got loads of training about, like, ingredients and products. And this is how you use the products. And this is how you demo it. And a lot of that I already knew because I was super into Lush. What I didn't know was how the hell to do the knot wraps, which luckily I don't think I was ever asked to do actually. When I do them at home and we have them under the Christmas tree, I do the most basic knot ever, but like there are quite fancy ones that you can do if you like that kind of stuff. Then the soaps as well, I got no training on how to wrap the soaps. I can't remember any specific scenarios, but I just know there were a few times where it was like, and obviously you're being watched. It's like the unwrapping presents thing, but you're wrapping the present instead while being watched, which I personally think is significantly worse.
Right now. Haven't even started yet and there's already a hole.
Sewing paper is so ridiculous. I hate it. I mostly do gift bags for other people and then we do the knot wraps at home. I feel like people are more likely to reuse gift bags, so I feel like that's more eco, because even if I get recyclable paper, it doesn't always make it clear that it's recyclable and they think people might just put it in the bin, so.
In the wrapping paper. Somehow got to cut out enough wrapping paper to wrap up the present, then battle with the sellotape and make the whole thing look somewhat presentable. It's impossible. And if you're bad at wrapping up, everyone makes a point of telling you, like, yes, I know I'm terrible at wrapping up. You don't need to rub it in. I'm trying my best here. Serious talk, where did I put the sellotape? You may be thinking, Cheryl, it's not that bad. No, trust me, I'm dyspraxic. I already suck at fiddly things, and this is the most fiddly thing in existence, in my opinion. Where is the end?
I got some paper tape recently though, and that was great. It was really easy to find the end and it didn't like want to fold in on itself so much. I need to reorder that actually. That was really good.
And if you're one of these people that likes wrapping up, firstly, how? Secondly, can you do my wrapping up for me? Please, I'll pay you. Just need to cover up that hole I made. Don't mind me. At least this will give something for people to laugh about.
Okay, that kind of does look like I wrapped it, I must say.
Paper has those lines to help you cut straight. Doesn't mean I'm actually going to cut straight. Like, I just seem to go, woo!
I think it was in my Traits of Dyspraxia video, I said how, well, as a child, I remember cutting out this thing that was supposed to go on the wall for a display, and I tried so hard, and I thought I'd done such a good job. And then the teacher was like, Megan, what did you do with this cutting? This is awful.
Does anyone wrap up slippers and make it look nice? Special shout out to sellotape. That is a sensory nightmare.
Sometimes it smells nice though. Does anyone else like sniffing tape? Tape sniffing for the win.
Slippers didn't turn out too bad. Ignore that bit there. I can't see that. Can you? No.
Need another patch? Oh, that looks easier.
When it comes to a box, it's like, great, this will be easy. And then you remember the corners. And everyone always seems to have perfect corners. Can't relate.
What I hate though is when you're opening presents. Like my stepdad is very good at wrapping presents. He's very neat. But can you get into them? No, they're not openable. So actually I'd prefer it if some people were a bit worse at wrapping presents, because I'm not great at unwrapping them.
Overall, I love giving gifts, but me and wrapping up are not friends. And the chances of me having left prices on everything is 99.9%. Anyway, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Cheryl's just my favourite. Oh my god, having left prices. I have so much paranoia about this. Even if I've checked a million times, it'll like come into my head and it like strikes fear into my heart. Like, why is this, like, you can Google the price though if you want. Like, why does it matter? I don't know. In fact, I think I usually ship my dad's presents directly to his house from Amazon. And I'm pretty sure I don't always click that it's a gift, so it probably does have the price on most time. But like, it's not cheap. Like I get him things from South Africa that he can't get, so like imported foods. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, Neil. Now we have Cheryl making a light jar. This looks very cozy and wholesome. This is what we need, I think.
Let's make a light jar together. Now I thought this was the perfect activity to bring some light to those dark winter nights. Or days. It just seems to be dark the entire time at the moment.
Everyone in the UK every year when we have like the daylight savings, we're like, it's dark at like 4 p.m. It's just so dark. I don't remember it being this dark last year. It's like it's a new thing for us every year. It does feel like it. It does feel like jarring and out of nowhere. This time of year, I often get like quite a heavy feeling. I've got it at the moment. Like today has not been like a great day for me mentally. I just feel like I've got a big weight pressing on my chest, and I think the darkness and the fact that it's so cold, it really doesn't help. It's been freezing at the moment. Then you hear the temperatures that it gets to in Canada and you're like, oh, we're actually wimps.
There's a lot of lights. Untangling them was testing my brain power. Now I've got to put these lights in this jar and make it look pretty. No pressure. Right, we're going in. Oh, this is fiddly. Oh, I'm all tangled. Oh my goodness, right, here we go. Here we go. Maybe. This is so satisfying. Where on earth do I hide the battery pack? I thought I could tape it to the lid, but the lid's too small. I'm just gonna slide it in here and we're gonna hope for the best.
Yeah, you can't even see it really. That's great. Oh yeah, that looks lovely. I feel like if I did it, it would look like a bunch of wires that got tangled in the drawer. I suppose if it has lights on it, that might look cute. I don't know.
I think I'm nearly there. I've just got to wait for night time now so we can see the proper effect. It's night time, which means we can see the final result. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Ready? It's glowing so much. It's like, whoa! I can't believe how good this turned out. And there you have it, your very own light jar. It's warm, glowing, it makes me happy. Anyway, have a good
that's
day.
really cool because
Bye-bye.
it's like a really kind of like quite a cheap decoration idea as well. That's really cozy and nice. Oh, I love that. If you missed my last TikTok reaction, you might enjoy that one. I reacted to kind of TikTok autism tests, like TikToks that attempt to diagnose you as autistic to see whether or not I'd be diagnosed as autistic. I don't know whether I passed the autistic test or failed. You'll have to have a look and let me know how I did, but I thought that was pretty funny and I'd love to know how you did. Did you manage to come up with a good story for the story one? Did you manage to figure out all the facial expressions in the facial expression one? What did you think of that last one? I was kind of terrified. If you want to see some exclusive videos from me, I do have a Patreon. As I say, I've got the reaction to the controversial Autism Speaks advert video on there, and then I talk a little bit more about Autism Speaks over the years and have they improved, what are their current stances on things, and oh, subscribe. I forget to say subscribe. I forget that's a thing. Again, if you want to check out Babbel, please click the link in the description. It'll be the first link in the description to get 60% off your subscription. Bye. Thank you so much for watching.